Superhero fatigue is real, but before the big budget blockbusters, there were other heroes, forgotten champions who deserve a second chance. From a levitating Buddhist priest to a golden-skulled warrior, our countdown explores 10 of these overlooked heroes, the ones time forgot, but who could be huge hits with today's audiences. Kicking off our list at number 10 is a hero who found enlightenment in fighting crime, the Green Lama. This wealthy New Yorker, Jandar Drak, traded his riches for robes, becoming a Buddhist priest with some seriously super skills. First appearing in 1940, the Green Lama used his martial arts mastery, honed during his time in Tibet, and the power of levitation, achieved through deep meditative practices to take down the bad guys. He wasn't just throwing punches, he was incorporating Eastern philosophy into his crime fighting, a unique blend of physical prowess and spiritual enlightenment. Sadly, his blend of Eastern philosophy and superheroism didn't quite resonate with audiences at the time, and he faded into obscurity, a victim of changing tastes and the rise of more straightforward punch-em-up heroes. But with meditation and mindfulness all the rage these days, maybe it's time for the Green Lama to find his inner peace and make a comeback. Imagine a Green Lama movie directed by, say, the Russo brothers, with Oscar Isaac as the Lama. I'd be there on opening night. We could see him grappling with the balance between his spiritual beliefs and his desire to fight injustice, a complex character ripe for exploration. Next up at number 9 is a hero who proves that even robots can have a heart of gold. Robot Archie. This mechanical marvel, a gleaming chrome creation, first appeared in the British comic magazine Lion in 1952. Originally a remote-controlled helper for a jungle explorer, Archie wasn't just a mindless machine. He eventually gained consciousness, developing a quirky and endearing personality as shiny as his chrome exterior. He wasn't just strong, he was witty, with a charming British catchphrase, "Jolly good show," that perfectly captured his optimistic spirit. Sadly, Archie's adventures were cut short when Lion ceased publication, and he's been mostly forgotten ever since, a victim of the ever-changing comics landscape. But in a world obsessed with AI and robots, exploring the ethical implications of artificial intelligence, maybe it's time for this forgotten hero to reboot and return. He could offer a more lighthearted and humorous take on the robot narrative. I could totally see Robot Archie as a CGI animated movie, with Danny DeVito voicing the robot. Imagine the comedic possibilities. Archie's naivete and enthusiasm clashing with the complexities of the modern world. It's a story waiting to be told. Coming in at number 8 is a Daredevil you might not know. Before the Man Without Fear, Matt Murdock, swung onto the scene, there was another Daredevil created by Lev Gleason Publications way back in 1940. This Daredevil, Bart Hill, wasn't blinded. He was a district attorney who fought crime with a combination of acrobatic skills honed from a childhood spent in a traveling circus and a trusty boomerang. He even had a cool, if somewhat melodramatic, origin story involving childhood trauma, witnessing his parents' murder, and a facial scar as a constant reminder of his loss. This Daredevil predates the Marvel version by over 2 decades, yet he was sadly overshadowed by his more famous namesake and faded into obscurity, another victim of the crowded superhero market. But with the character now in the public domain, meaning anyone can use him in their creative works, maybe it's time for this forgotten hero to make a daring return. Imagine the possibilities. A Daredevil limited series on Netflix with Charlie Cox playing both Daredevils. Now that's an idea. A crossover, or perhaps a story exploring the legacy of the name, delving into the different motivations and methods of these two very different heroes. It could be a fascinating exploration of justice and vigilantism. At number 7, we have a hero who proves that sometimes you have to fight fire with fire, the Black Terror. This pharmacist turned superhero first appeared in 1941. After creating a chemical that gave him superpowers, he donned a skull and crossbones costume and waged war on crime with his sidekick, Tim Rowland. The Black Terror was a popular character for Nidor Comics, but when the company went under, so did he. But like a phoenix rising from the ashes, this hero has cheated death before, appearing in comics from various publishers over the years. Maybe it's time for him to rise again and show the world what he's really made of. A gritty Black Terror series on HBO Max, anyone? Soaring into our number 6 spot is a hero who proves that even with limitations, you can reach great heights. War Eagle. This Golden Age hero, first appearing in 1942, was a wealthy man who overcame childhood paralysis to become a winged superhero. He even built his own flight suit. Sadly, War Eagle's adventures were grounded when his comic was canceled, but his story of resilience and determination deserves to be told again. A War Eagle animated series on Disney Plus, maybe. I'd watch that. Landing in our number 5 spot is a hero who packs a punch and proves that girls can be superheroes too. Miss Victory. This Golden Age heroine, first appearing in 1941, was a stenographer by day and a super strong crime fighter by night. She wasn't afraid to throw a punch or two, and her patriotic costume was a symbol of hope in a time of war. Sadly, Miss Victory's victories were short-lived, but in a world where female superheroes are finally getting their due, maybe it's time for her to make a triumphant return. A Miss Victory movie starring, say, Hailey Steinfeld? Yes, please! Blazing into our number 4 spot is a hero who's more than just a flaming skull. The Blazing Skull. This World War II hero, first appearing in 1941, was a war correspondent who gained the power to become a fiery skeletal being. He was a member of the Invaders, a superhero team that fought alongside Captain America. Initially, his only power was invulnerability to fire, but he later gained super strength, a healing factor, and even the ability to control fire. Sadly, the Blazing Skull's flame fizzled out after the war, but his unique powers and eerie design have the potential to ignite a new generation of fans. A Blazing Skull horror movie on Hulu? I'm there. Riding into our number 3 spot is a hero who's a little bit cowboy, a little bit ghost, and a whole lot of awesome. The Phantom Rider. Originally known as Ghost Rider, he first appeared in 1967. This Wild West hero was an expert marksman and whip wielder who donned a phosphorescent white costume to fight crime. He even had a mask with special goggles that could drive villains mad. Sadly, he was overshadowed by the motorcycle-riding Ghost Rider and faded into the background. But with a unique blend of Western and supernatural elements, maybe it's time for the Phantom Rider to ride again. A Phantom Rider series on Netflix starring, say, Oscar Isaac? That would be epic. Blasting into our number 2 spot is a hero who's out of this world. Literally, Stardust the Super Wizard, an alien from a private star, first appeared in 1939. This cosmic crime fighter used his super senses and reality warping powers to keep Earth safe from afar. Sadly, Stardust's adventures ended after a brief comic book run, but his bizarre powers and outlandish origin story have the potential to be a supernova hit with today's audiences. A Stardust the Super Wizard movie with a Guardians of the Galaxy vibe? Sign me up. Taking the top spot at number 1 is a hero who may be the first superhero ever. Ogun Bat. This golden skulled warrior predates both Superman and Batman, first appearing in Japan in 1930. With his skull face, golden skin, and flowing cape, Ogun Bat is a force to be reckoned with. He has super strength, can fly, and fights for justice from his secret base in the Japanese Alps. Despite his frightening appearance, Ogun Bat is a hero for the ages, and it's time he got the recognition he deserves. An Ogun Bat anime series on Crunchyroll? That's what I'm talking about. So there you have it, 10 forgotten heroes ripe for rediscovery. From martial arts masters to cosmic wonders, these characters represent a rich history of superhero storytelling just waiting to be explored. And if you're hungry for more forgotten comic book content, don't forget to click the link on the end screen to check out my video on the X-Men villains we're all trying to forget.